Hold on, so you can explain it. Well, here's me trying to explain it. So, the income statement focuses on 4 key items: revenue, expenses, gains, and losses, right? Those 4 items would then create the net revenue, right? Or will be called net earnings, right? So, net earnings is profit and loss. That's basically saying if you're making profit or you're making loss, but you can click an item and one will have the profit on the item and the other side will have the losses on the item. So, but then you look at the entire item, then it'll also have the same. So it's like sub items, then total item. It depends on what type of lens you're looking at it in. So, for example, it would be for this sentence right here. Essentially, it gives an account of how the net revenue realized by the company gets transformed into net earnings, profit or loss. Now, I know they make that very hard to read, but only thing they're really saying is net revenue is over net earnings. They're saying or net revenue. I would go back and say net revenue equals net earnings. That's what it basically means. Net revenue is the 4 items that I read of in the income statement. That's the revenue, expenses, gains, and losses. That is the net revenue. The net earnings, right, is just like the average. Like, it's just like one big thing that just says profit or loss, right? And then you notice you in profit as a total entity, so you can move on. Or it could go then say loss, right? And then if you click it, then that's when the net revenue will come up with the sheets: revenue, expenses, gains, and losses. So it'd be like, you come in today and be like, what's the net earnings? Where we at? Like, oh shoot, we in negative 0.3%. Like, okay, I pull up the expenses and gains sheets, right? And then y'all just pull up those 2 sheets, and one will let me know the expenses I'm putting out, that's a negative, and one will let me know the gains I'm bringing in. So it's just like, it will let me know right away that what is causing me to be in a negative, or what's the whatever you call it, the needle on a camel back, or whatever that's called. You know, the last straw, right? And then I can be able to adjust from there, and then the entity is back in the green. You know, it's just small adjustments that you can be able to do. So you just turning your, this right here is basically the mechanical part of your company. So yeah, and the cash flow is the blood flow of your company, and your balance sheet is just the total overall of the company. So then I got one more sheet I have to learn before I move on. But yeah, hopefully this helps anybody or it makes kind of sense.